the Western woman, the American woman, from a standpoint of marriage and family, this is the worst place in the world to choose a wife. Not only the worst place in the world, it's the worst place in the annals of history to choose a wife. Attention to a woman is like crack cocaine. And so she's seeing these things on the internet, and she's got guys in her DM, and they're giving her a false idea of their value. Male attention is monopoly money. Because when you hit 35 and that attention starts to go away and you start looking for men, the kind of men you want, now you're competing with the younger, hotter, more fertile girl. There's a reason that God starts, the creator starts, you start to lose your eggs, what, in the mid-30s? I have daughters. My youngest daughter just graduated from college. She's 22. My advice to them, find the best man you can at your youngest age and settle down with him.
And if that man is 40 years old, you'd be okay with it?
40?
Yeah.
As long as he can provide for her and she loves her, he's going to treat her right, absolutely. As long as they're an adult. It's okay for an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old to have sex and put it all out on the internet. She's old enough to do that. She's old enough to be in a relationship. And what does God say, by the way? What does nature say? Nature says that women typically get their period like in their early teens, maybe 12, maybe 13 years old. In my opinion, that's nature and God saying he's preparing you to get ready for childbirth. It's always from tradition, and you go to other countries, the same thing. You find younger women with older men because the older man is more seasoned.
My bedroom was having with you. Back for another episode. You know, that clip right there said a lot. Hey, look, before I get into this thing, cause we about to chop it up, yeah, let's roll that intro. Pull up with this dick, yeah. She said she wanna be up on my team, but she can't love me, yeah. Really, she don't want a man, she want a gummy bear. Now, I constantly see the same thing that this brother right here says. We live in a day and age where if you want a traditional wife, good luck, because this is not a traditional life. You understand? It's like women will say, well, all he loves is toxic women. No, sweetheart, that's all I have to work with. See, a woman will accuse you of loving corn when really you like squash. The only reason you deal with corn is because you live in a land that's what is produced. And you have to work with that. The other option is that you don't eat nothing at all, right? And not eating anything at all would be equivalent to you becoming a eunuch. And some brothers have gone that way. For me, that may not be in my cards. Like I say, I love women. It's the reason why we started this channel. I love women, and so do you. You know? But what I love more than loving women is loving a woman who knows her place and how to stay in it. Now, don't get me wrong. As a man, you have an easier time converting a woman to a believer. You have an easier time making that woman believe your God than the other way around. You have an easier time whipping her into shape than the other way around. You have an easier time putting your mind in her mind than the other way around. Despite the challenges that we face with modern day women, even women who champion themselves to be biblical women. And this is why, one of the reasons why you are the catch. Because if you have 3 women, 4 women, and it's one of you, if you lost one of them, you would have an easier time replicating that with another woman. Not saying that it'd be completely flawless. Just saying, statistically, you'd have an easier time imparting yourself in that woman than that woman would trying to impart that into a man, because it's unnatural. See, if that woman leaves her husband and she's been used and groomed to certain things that he's done, she may never find it in any other man. Because even y'all-fearing men, we're a little different, or a lot different. Once we get to the basis of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right, whatever else we choose to do is our prerogative. So it's going to be a lot different. She can't recreate or replicate that with another man because that man's only going to be that man. She can't pour into him. It's unnatural. Not the man, however, pours into the woman. So you'll have an easier time as a man recreating yourself and recreating that situation with the woman, with the new woman, than that woman would with the new man. And that's why I always see when a woman leaves and we're no longer together, her life is going to change a lot more than mine is. And if you are the best version of yourself, that's how it will always be. Yeah, your life may be altered a little bit, but hers is going to be altered almost entirely. Not always for the bad, just altered nonetheless. And what you need to understand in the minds of a lot of people, the familiar evil is always better than the unfamiliar evil. Now, in a perfect world, we wouldn't have any, but this is far from a perfect world. So she has forgotten a lot of the knacks and the quirks that you had that she's already accustomed herself to. Now with this new guy, it's like, wow. Again, it's a different sport. This man got things that make the other man faux pas and the other man little negative traits seem like an Olympic contest. But back to what this brother was saying. See, any woman I deal with, I would love for her to have a father like that. Wow. I would love for her to have had a Abba, a daddy, a father, a covering, a protector, a provider like that until I showed up on the scene. But ask yourself, how many women you know with dads like that? Not with dads, clearly they all have fathers or sperm donors, whatever they choose to call them. But how many women you know got a father talking like that? That you can say you've met and shook hands with and came and picked that girl up from his house. Because everything he said was factual. Everything. And this is what I'm telling you, men. I've never met this brother before, but we don't need to. When that spirit moves, we're all going to be speaking one language. We're all going to be under one mind. You understand me? Moving with the same purpose. Praise Yah. So from time to time, you're going to hear other people say things that I've said, and you're going to hear things that I've said that you've heard others say. That ain't no coincidence. And that ain't no swagger jack neither. That's that father moving in his children. How all of us waking up at the same time, having the same calling in different places, and never have met any of these people, any of the other believers. But yet we are speaking the same language. So yeah, I would have loved to have gotten a woman with a daddy like that. But if you don't know any, what I'm trying to tell you is that you're going to have to do some adjusting. Some major and some minor. Because we are moving towards the end game. And as we do so, the love of many shall wax cold. And for the women who do wake up from their slumber, from them being so drawn into this superficial stupor, that if they look into the stupor long enough will make them stupid. Once they wake up, you then as the man have to ask yourself, is it now worth it for me? Does she have enough value? And this brings us to this lesson. She needs to work for it. Now when I say this, man, both men and women look at me like I'm kind of crazy. Man, what you gotta understand is that women do not value anything that they've never worked for. Hear me out. Go on her page or wherever platform she uses to project herself into society. Because today has made all women feel like goddesses. They can all get their 15 minutes of fame now. They don't have to be starlets or really have any talents at all. They can all become goddesses. Which in and of itself is a form of corruption, but that's neither here nor there right now. But go on her page or just talk to her and listen to her speak. You won't have to ask her the things that she takes pride in, because she'll tell you those will be her Hallmark cards. Maybe it's her association with the sorority, right? Because she made it through that. Maybe you see a lot of pictures of her business that she made because she had to work to get that business, whether it's a hair care business, whether it's a non-profit charity, whatever the case may be. She has felt and went through some situations and some ordeals that she had to work for and work through. You know, maybe it's her graduation, both college and academic, right? Maybe it was her pregnancy, so you see pictures littered with her kids back and back, because they told her she couldn't have kids. They told her that her body wouldn't carry or produce children, so now she's very proud because she felt like she had to work for that. And she wants everyone to see that. And maybe it's both. Maybe it's the fact that she went and put herself through school while pregnant, and she had both doctors and family members telling her to get rid of the baby. And she graduated and had the baby. Guess what? You're going to see that projected because that's what she worked for. And what she holds valuable to her is only the things that she's worked for. Now, knowing that I made the mistake of just giving women positions in my life that they didn't work for. How are they going to hold value to that? How are they going to see the value in it? How are they going to recognize the life-altering position that they're in if they didn't work for it? This is why I keep quoting the seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You have to work for that. You shouldn't get upset when I say that. You have to work for it. Once you get it, then you understand the importance of keeping it. Because once you're saved, despite what churchianity teaches you, you're not always saved. There are plenty and many examples of the Bible of men and women who were saved and then lost their salvation. But if you didn't work for that salvation, you don't know the importance of keeping it. If you didn't work for that marriage, you don't know what the Bible says about keeping your marriage undefiled. Because it was just given to you. You didn't have to work at it. Today's woman needs to work for it, bro. You see, we mistake them saying they're wifey material for them actually being able to be a wife. You ask your bro, why is she wifey material? Oh, because she want to be married. She told me she want to be married. And we think that that's what makes her wifey material. There's a lot of people who want to be a millionaire. Does that mean that they're qualified to manage an account with $1 million in it? No. That thing needs to be put to the test. It needs to be put to the test. And herein is where you're going to find out whether she really is for it or not. When you let her know, nah, let mama, look, I got to see some things. She's either going to jump at the opportunity to prove herself, or she's going to question you as to why she needs to prove herself in the first place. And then she starts to question you as to why she needs to prove herself in the first place. Understand that it is a stall tactic, because a lot of truth is going to be revealed. See, these women want you to hurry up and marry them before the makeup comes off. These women want you to hurry up and marry them and be responsible for them and to them before the truth them comes out. Oh, you've already taken the vows, and you're a God-fearing man, right? So you have to. Oh, you already went into me, and you're a God-fearing man, so you can't just... That's what they want you to do, my brothers. What I'm telling you to do is, in some instances, what I did not do. Make them earn that position. Don't believe the lie that she doesn't know how to. That may be somewhat true. She may not know how to. But as long as you're willing, you'll find a way to be able. You understand me? As long as you're willing, you'll find a way to be able. Because when you work at your job and there's a position that you want, there's no manual at your job that tell you how to work up to that position. Yet because you're willing, you are able to find a way to work up to that position. And like so, your manager is just not going to give you the position because you say that you want it and that you can do it. He's not going to move you from the store clerk to the account manager without you have proved yourself worthy of that position simply just because you proclaimed it, bro. See, Christianity, modern day, this feel-good doctrine has people believing all you have to do is proclaim it and this shall be given. And I ask, who told you guys that? Because faith without works is dead. So if you have the faith that you can do it, they should run in tandem with that. You cannot have the faith that you can be a wife, but your works say something differently. Do you understand what I'm putting down, brothers? She needs to work for it. And if she doesn't, then she never found your system, your life, being there that valuable to begin with. Because she'll get out here and work for everything and everyone else but that. That's how you know if she values it. Or is it just speech, feel-good speech? Or are you just, Captain, come and save me right now? See, if you give it to them freely, people love free stuff. They just don't value free stuff. See, when I give discounts, I don't just give them to them at a discounted rate. I show them the full rate of what you would have been paying. Then I show you what I slashed off. You have to show them the full ticket first without fear of running them off. If they run, they wasn't meant for you anyway. So you mean to tell me this costs $8,000? Yeah, but I'm going to give it to you for $15,000. But if I give it for you for $15,000, when it's time for it to go bumped up back to the original price, you're looking like, what? Because they don't see the value in that. That's how you get people to buy into anything you're selling. Don't sell the product, you sell the value, bro. But as men, we don't even have to sell ourselves. You don't even have to sell your value. If that woman does not see it, then she does not need to be in it. If she can't see from afar that, oh man, this man right here is the wave, then she don't need to be around. We live in a day and age, bro, where a lot of women, think that they can leave a God-sent situation and then for whatever reason still have Yah or God. I use either one interchangeably because I'm speaking to a multitude of audiences. But they believe that when they leave that situation, that for whatever reason, God is still going to keep blessing them with a similar situation. And I'm going to tell you like this, ain't no wife ever been and stayed on the right-hand side of Yahuwah if she was ever on the left side or the left-hand side of her husband. Say that one more time. There has never been a wife who has stayed and remained on the right-hand side of God if she was on the left-hand side of her husband. But these women believe that they can function that way. You left without getting the authority of your husband, the permission of your husband. That's not biblical. That's not natural. But when they get done and good and ready to come back, now they want to hold Bible verses to you. They want you to now keep vows that they didn't keep themselves. And marriage is a serious thing. But if that woman who is really like a child, if that woman is not taught the value, if she hasn't worked for that position, she gonna take it on a wild expedition. She gonna mess it up, bro. She gonna F it up and then be looking at you to fix it. She's gonna be looking at you like you're the bad person. Like you didn't chase after her. You don't ever chase after nothing that's yours. Because if it's yours, you don't have to chase after it. They'll read the woman in the Bible, but not to humble themselves and see that these women's lifestyle and their outcomes was blessed that way because of their insides. They'll read that as points of contention to try to argue back and forth with you. And already you missed the mark. See, we love feminine things. We love feminine women, but there's no feminine without humility. Ruth had to humble herself. Esther had to humble herself. Hagar was told by the angel, humble yourself and go back to your mistress. Hagar had left the first time because heaven knows what Sarai was doing to her. She could have been getting beat and Hagar left. And the angel says, humble yourself, woman, and go back. See, today's woman would have stopped playing religion right then and there. Keep it honest. What, you gonna sit there and combat with the angel of the Most High? Well, you don't understand. Go ahead and do that. And have your life taken from you ASAP. Hagar had enough sense. She's an Egyptian woman. She's not even a Hebrew. She's an Egyptian woman. Had enough sense. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Now, she did leave again, but this time it was done in decency and in order. And this is the reason why we're still talking about it today. But today's woman does not understand that you cannot be feminine without first being humble. Humility is soft and malleable. It makes someone want to reach out and lift you up, despite how you look, despite how it may make them look. And that's the same thing that femininity does to a masculine man. When they see it, they gotta have it. No matter who's saying what around them, they gotta lift that individual up. See, they don't understand the rules of engagement, the laws of attraction. This is why modern day women have a hard time keeping a man. You can get him, you just can't keep him. But if she does not work for that position, brothers, she will never value it. She will never value you. She will never see you as the Yah-send man that you are. She will think that she's Yah-send to you. When, like the man said, you're 30-something plus. You're competing with younger women, younger, tender, finer women. How could you be Yah-send? You don't even come how those women did back then. You're not even at the most feminine version of yourself, yet you're Yah-send. Doesn't make sense. And you have a lot of men out here who pander to these women and have them thinking that they are the prize. Till by the time they get with us, we gotta do so much weed whacking to get down to the point to see, sweetheart, no. These are the same women who say, teach me, but I don't want to be taught. Lead me, but I don't want to be led. Coach me, but don't talk to me like that. Don't coach me like that. Well, what you want me to do with that? And if you men have the time to take on such a project, then by all means. I'm saying for me, as I'm getting older, I have a lot of kids. I have a lot that pulls for me. I only want to apply the energy where it's going to be received. You know, a lot of times love flows where love goes. And I, as the days move forward, do not find it valuable of my time to be spent trying to teach an unteachable woman, trying to lead an unleadable woman. But I have vessels here right now that when I snap my fingers, they get information. Why would I want to contest with that? Why? I, like you men, probably have a lot of different women in the inbox. And it's really just a matter of yay or nay. And that honestly just boils down to whether it's worth it or not. And I'll be honest, a lot of it ain't. But if you see something in her, and there's women that I've seen things in, and still do. If you see something that may be worth salvaging in her, if you feel something from the times that she is humble and vulnerable, and you feel that, then do so. Pick her up, lift her up, restore her. But make her earn it first. Make her prove herself. Don't just allow her to tell you how bad you show me how bad you want it. Cause then when you get it, you gon' gobble it up. Man, it's no different than when you about to hit a woman for the first time, bro. I like to allow weeks to go before we end up doing it. I want her to imagine what it's like. I want her to feel like she's worked it up. Then when that release finally comes, when you finally insert it, when you finally touch it, ain't nothing like it. Now you ain't doing nothing that another man ain't already done to her. She done had several things up there. She done had several men hit it in every position that you could think of. So that's not what's making this experience different. What's making this experience different is that she had to work that up. That orgasm, that release had to be worked up first. So when it came down even harder. Make her work for it. And if she don't want to work for it, she's not worthy to be in your life. Just like if they don't want to work for their salvation, they're not worthy to have it. Because if you can't do that, then you're not worthy and you will not maintain it nor keep it. Men, keep your peace. Remain a G. Forever stay firmly planted on your feet. If she's for you, more than her words, her actions will speak. Love y'all. Say loud. Love with the stick, yeah. She said she wanna be up on my team, but she can't love me, yeah. Really, she don't want a man, she want a gummy bear.